I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. This weekend, they had the correspondence dinner down in Washington, D.C. at one of those lavish hotels, and all the correspondents, politicians, and they had the comedian there as well, and Joe Biden and a bunch of other people were there. I guess you may have become aware of it if you're a news junkie. I don't know if junkie is the best way to put it, or you follow the news, what goes on. And there's a whole lot of questions now about, since Joe Biden has made the announcement on this past Tuesday that he is running for re-election. Now, he'll be 82 years old when the election process, I think, takes place in 2024. He'll be 82. And he'll be 86 if he serves out his term. Now, Nikki Haley, who's a Republican candidate for the Republican nomination, stated last week that Joe Biden, who is too old to run for president, he'll probably die in office at 86 years of age. And she's doubled down on that now, that he's now becoming cognitive deficient. He's just as smart, as quick, and as he should be, and he shouldn't be running for president because he's so old. And a lot of people are concerned about that. A lot of Americans, though they may like Joe Biden, my time Biden, a lot of people feel that he's just too old. Well, you know, I tend to disagree, but let me tell you why I disagree in just a moment. What I am concerned about Joe Biden more than I'm concerned about his age is that I'm concerned about his vice presidential running mate. Now, he put together that 90-second video last Tuesday stating that he is running and why he's running for freedom for American people, standing up for the little guy, want to build from the bottom up and the top and the middle out. Is his phrases that I'm concerned that if something does happen to Biden, we're going to end up with Camelback ain't Black Harris as our president. That's the thing I'm concerned about. And I'm really concerned about that. But can I let you in on a secret? Now, don't tell anybody I told you this, because if you tell it, spread the word all over there where people are thinking all kind of negative racial things about me. But can I tell you this? Most Japheth people, either Republican or Democrat, but mainly Democrats, they're not saying Biden is too old because they believe that Biden's too old. They're saying that Biden's too old because if something does happen, because you're more vulnerable at that age of 82, 83 than you are when you're 18, that they would end up with Camelback ain't Black Harris as their president. And we're talking about Democrats who don't want that woman. They don't want her. They don't want that woman. All the Hillary Clinton's followers and everybody else who got a half a brain, white and Democrat, are scared to death that Biden is going to get sick and die, and we're going to end up by default with Camelback ain't Black Harris. And they don't want that. So listen, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip. And I don't know if Biden's he say he's running, but I don't know if they won't talk. If Jim Clyburn is he and Camelback ain't Black Harris is Bernie Sanders and Simone Sanders. Well, anyway, I'm going to talk about what people do in their private bedrooms. I ain't saying nothing like that. But at any rate, you know, they may decide to run somebody else than Biden, because Biden is strong on Camelback ain't Black Harris. Y'all call her Kamala Harris. And the Hillary Clinton followers just don't want Camelback Harris. They don't want her. And most Democrats, listen, nearly 85% of Japheth Democrats don't want. Now you got the Hamite people. You know how they go off on this black thing. They go off on this. Black people worship blackness more than they worship Jesus. I'll tell you, they put blackness before they put Jesus. So we got a black president. Oh, we got a fresh woman black president. Oh, we got a fresh woman black president. Let me tell you something. You don't want that. Black folk are hoping that Joe Biden does win and then die. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't want anybody to think, let me just rephrase that. But if he did win and then got sick or something like that, is that more appropriate? Yeah. Then Camelback Harris will be our president. So that's my concern, and that's concern of literally 85% of white Americans that are Democrats. And the Republicans don't want, You know the Republicans. So here's the other thing. I'm going to tell you this. Don't you tell anybody else if I told you this. Don't let nobody in the Republican Party and the MAGA Party and all that crowd know I said this. But listen, I'm going to tell you something. Here's what I heard. Potentially, people who are Democrats might vote for Trump. First, push him to win the nomination over DeSantis, and then vote for Trump that he become president, because at least if Trump become president, you don't have to worry about Biden croaking and coming back Harris. So, how can I say this? As people put things in my ear. Now, this is not disinformation. This is not disinformation. But a whole lot of Democrats will be voting against Biden and Camelback Harris and voting for Trump. Figure they're better off with Trump than they are with Camelback and Black Harris. Now, that's not disinformation. That is not different. But the other thing is that this we were talking about, Biden's old. Trump is only 4 years younger than Biden. Trump's 76. But Trump don't act old, though. Trump does. That's one thing I have to give that boy. I get a boy credit now. You got to give credit where credit due. Trump don't act. Trump act like he's still, 35 years old. You ever see him? Ever see Trump? Yeah, Trump acts like he's a playboy or something. Act like he don't have the cadence of an old person. He just doesn't do it. Biden looks older than dirt. Acts older than dirt, but not Trump. He doesn't. When you look at Trump, you know his age, but he don't act like that. The guy's got a whole lot of game with him. So I think that a lot of people, as we J-Foot Americans, are going to favor Trump, and even Democrats. So Trump has a high possibility of being able to win the presidency just because they want to keep Camelback Harris out there. And Lord have mercy, I might even vote for Trump, to make sure that Camelback ain't Black Harris. But then finally, let's do this other thing. It's got this boy down there, Ron DeSantis, down there. Everybody talking about he's not charismatic, that he doesn't have what it takes, he doesn't punch back. Trump called him, insinuated that he might be homosexual, and said a bunch of other things about him, and called him Ron DeSanctimonious and one thing after the other, and that, but I can tell you this: a number of Hamite people might decide to make sure in the primaries that they vote for Trump. Black people will vote for Trump. So DeSantis is doing a job on black people, on that woke, that critical race theory, and all this transgender and homosexuality. Now he down there, he picked a fight with Walt Disney, Minnie and Mickey Mouse. DeSantis is fighting anything that acts like it wants to be racially, anything that wants to be wicked, anything that wants, and he's doing a good job down there in Florida. So black people may vote for Trump for two reasons. One, that they don't want Kamala Harris, so a lot of black folk gonna vote for Trump. That's what I think. And they're gonna vote for Trump in the primary because they don't want DeSantis to win the nomination, and then they got to deal with, DeSantis shutting down libraries, shutting down Walt Disney World. So you might find a whole lot of Hamite people. Well, not a Hamites, not yet. They got to turn out. Let me straighten that out. A whole lot of black people. I mean, a whole lot of them that are going to be voting for Trump because they're scared to death of Camelback and Black Harris and Ron DeSantis. So you see how politics work? Yeah, and you have to be a strategist.